Hello there. Another day. Another time to go to the website. Wasn't really happy with how things turned out yesterday, so I spent some time this morning in really in isolation, go like, okay, how the flying fuck am I going to do this Basic Nation thing? Because the way Notion works, let me open the documentation. Docs, API reference, Basic Nation. So why I couldn't get this to work is because, let me quickly hide the viewer count so I don't get anxious. So the way Basic Nation works in Notion is that you have a start cursor, which you set, and you also have a next cursor, which you get back from the API. The problem with this is, as soon as you want to implement any next page and previous page Basic Nation with just a search param, then you can always go forward because you always get the next cursor, but you can't always go back because you don't know what's the previous cursor. So for instance, if you have like, I don't know, let's take, let me for clarity just open this thing. Let's say you have N is next page, P is previous page. So everything works with the cursor. When you have the sequence, you can go like, okay, so the first page doesn't have a previous page, it's only have a next page. Then you get to a previous and next page, previous and next page, previous and next page, previous and next page. That's great. If I navigate from, like, say, here, let me increase this a little bit. If I navigate from here to here, I have a, I know the previous page because we set the cursor, and I know the next page. Then we go, as soon as we go one further, I know the previous page, I know the next page. But then if I want to go back, I don't know this previous page because it doesn't come from the API. So I either have to use something like local state to save all the previous pages, or I need to save all my blog posts in a separate database. But then what's the point of using Notion as a CMS? So why is this a problem? Because, okay, so you not only have this problem, but as soon as people start sharing your blog page, and the cursors have changed, or they want to move around a bit, this system also just doesn't work with the cursor. So we have one other solution when it comes to a cursor-based Basic Nation, and that's infinite scroll or infinite loading. So if you go to the blog, you see I have a fetch more button. Don't worry, we're going to style that a bit more. But now it's just, okay, so loading, fetch more. And of course, this isn't going to work with like, okay, I'm only showing 3 blog posts and then another, no. I probably show like 9 to 12 blog posts per default. And then we're going to load another 12 if there are 12 available. And another 12. And the benefit of this is that I don't have to worry about previous pages. People get to this blog, they can't navigate the cursor themselves, so they can't fuck it up. They can just load things infinitely. Well, one thing that's a little bit odd, or that's not really a great user experience, is that if someone wants to read an old blog, you have to go back, load more. So I probably have to add some sort of filtering in the future. But that's, that's something we can do later, because most of this content is coming from other blogs which support all that search and filters, etc, etc. This is only just like sort of a catalog of everything I write. I will write my own stuff on here, but for now it's just like a back catalog. And if people share my post, they probably share the post instead of, hey, look at this listing page. It's on page 3. Let me share the page 3 link. No, they actually go inside of here and they'd be like, okay, I'll do it mail and etc. So now you're probably wondering, okay, Twan, that's cool, but you spent yesterday explaining all the code and now you just went on this morning and coded without us. don't you worry, buddy. Let's walk through this. So let's see. We have this side by side right now. Let me increase the font a little bit so it's more clear. Actually, today I'm going to refer the font back just a tiny bit, just like from this to this. If I'm explaining something, I will increase the font size, but I'm just way more productive with a little smaller font size where I can see overview a bit more. Because yesterday it was often a bit difficult to move around my own code. So let's see. Okay, what I've added is some types, because I was missing types on that page. Then the loader function isn't really that different from what we did yesterday. We still have the cursor, but we don't have the next and the previous cursor. So we still get the cursor for the query param, and we basically do, if we click on this button, which we add here below, it says block cursor post next cursor. To get more posts, we added the use fetcher, which is a remix function, which, well, it says here, interact with route loaders and actions without causing a navigation, which is great because we don't want that. We just want to hit the API route again to get more posts. And how do we get more posts? So more posts, we get that with the next cursor. So to use the fetcher, you first use fetcher by getting constant out of it. Then we use React use state to save the posts, because we also want to concatenate more posts as soon as they come in from the fetcher. So instead of using previously we just had post right here, we offloaded that to the use state. So use state post and set post, and the initial data comes from the post, which is basically this data, which also comes back from the use fetcher, which is pretty handy. So your data doesn't change at all. We don't only fetch the next post, no, we also get back the data, the next cursor has mount in exactly the same fashion, which I would have expected, because I think that's the way to do it. But you will be surprised how many libraries do this a different way by just, oh no, then I'm just going to give back the data and those other objects will be way down somewhere else, or you have to be specific or get them. No, Remix is just like, this is the way you load in data, and so this is the way we always give it back if you use the use fetcher. So the cool thing about use fetcher is that we can use effect to. Okay, now let's first go fetch more posts, which is linked to the button, which uses the URL which we're going to fetch. Basically, if we do that, fetch more posts, we say, okay, fetch load link, which load is the loader function. Talks to the loader function. And then something is happening. If I do fetcher.load, actually nothing really happens as soon as I look at, did the fetcher.data, which it returns, did that change? So if fetcher.data, we set the post using use state, and we do the data. And now here's the magic, or is it really magic? Basically, in order to render more posts inside of the view, we do, okay, grab the previous post.data, which are just the posts, I guess, and through that array, append the, or concat, however the fuck you want to call it, append the fetcher.data. It's a bit weird, but basically it's just fetcher.data is the data that comes back from fetcher. Who would have thought? And then we look at this because it's the data it's being returned, and we call this property data. So now we have the posts concatenated. Now the next challenge was, okay, so now we have more posts. How are we actually going to get the next page after that and determine if it has more posts after that? Pretty easy. Since we set the state, we can just overwrite the next cursor and it has more with the data that's coming in. So we get the new cursor. As soon as we hit this, it's getting the new data. The new data is set because you see these 3 posts have been appended to the previous posts. But instead of looking at the initial data next cursor and has more, it now overwrites the post with the next cursor from the post I've gone in. So if I do fetch more, the cursor has changed, updated again, and now we don't have more because I only have like 7 posts in here, so there is no has more, there is no next cursor. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. But the fun thing about it with the fetcher is that it has states. And that's really nice because you see here you have access to fetcher.type, which you have the init, the action submission, load submission for forms, of course, the action reload, the normal load, and the done. So as soon as we have fetcher type normal load, so as soon as we hit the button, so let me refresh this. Maybe you haven't noticed this, but as soon as I hit this button, it says loading, and a new post have come in. The loading is gone. So basically, this normal load has gone back to, I think it's idle, or either it's set to done or idle, or maybe it goes to done and then idle. I'm not really sure about that, but I don't really care because I'm not going to work on it right now because I want to continue with the Notion integration because I'm in kind of the flow with it. I've added this to the finish UI task, style load more button. Basically, what I want to do is I'm going to give it this style, so I'm going to pull in the button component, and as soon as you hit fetch more, I'm going to remove the fetch more text and replace it with a spinner or with just loading and disable the button. All kind of fun stuff. Why do we want to disable it? Because we don't want people to spam the button before the data has come in, because then you probably get an error. I don't know. Can I... It works. If I spam the button, it works. But it probably has made a bunch of requests. So let's just disable it. But let's work on that later. Let me add this to my notes. Don't forget to disable the button on load. Otherwise people might spam the API. Cool. So that's great. Let's move on then to hook up post page to Notion via Slug. So let's see, did we change anything here? We can just save this, I guess. Now this works, this works. Does the join newsletter still work? That also just works. Okay, cool. So now we want, if I, for instance, click on this test block article thingy, we just get to the blog page. So what we need to do is we have to go to Notion, and instead of export const get post, we actually have to, instead of get the, instead of querying the database, we need to query the page. So let's see. Yeah. So I have some documentation here on the side, which is just a previous integration just to speed things up and not to bore you with any kind of document. Maybe I will just open the documentation if something is unclear, or maybe if I want to improve something. But what are we going to do? So we are going to export a function called getPost. Instead of getPost, we're going to do getPost. This is going to be an async arrow function. Do we need a param? We need the slug, which is of type string. Do we need a return function? Probably we do, but we are not going to bother with that now. We're just going to add the types later because we want to model the data a little bit, see what we need before we commit to the types. I think that's the better way to do it. I don't know if... I think most people who use TypeScript do the types up front and then model it afterwards. I just like to do it the other way around, especially for these kinds of projects. I don't know. I think I'd rather do it this way for these kind of projects because I'm figuring things out while I'm going. Maybe I think, oh, that would be cool to include. I need to add some UI. And then afterwards, instead of constantly updating the type, I can be like, okay, this is the way I want it to be. Now I'm going to add the types for future me. And we'll take it from there. So let's see. Let me increase the music just a tiny bit. Because we are going into code mode. And then I like to have some music. So, get the freaking post. So for this, we will get the slug, which will be available via the loader function, I guess, of the page. We'll just figure that out later. Let's just first write the function to fetch the page. So get post by slug. So first, we'll probably have to... Can we just straight... Let me just... Oh, no. I need to open developers.notion. Let me see. How do they retrieve a page? No, retrieve page, page.id. No, I first have... Yeah. I first have to query the database to get the page ID, because I'm looking something for the slug. Maybe I can... maybe there's something in here that talks about content retrieve blockchain page object. No, so I first... yeah, page ID. I don't know the page ID unless... I do it by slug, so I don't have the page ID, and I want to do it by slug because I think slug looks way more beautiful than slash like slash, what is it, B55C9C91-384D. Nope. So we're first going to have to hit the database table again to fetch the page ID. So let's see. So let's say const post is await notion dot databases dot query, and then we say database ID is equal to database ID, and then we say filter, or actually, do we use or do we search for something exact? Let's see, query the database. Filter and, or which do we have? Filter conditions. Filter property landmark text. The single filter, each database filter contains property keys corresponding yada yada yada. Or return pages when any of the filters are array match. Return page where all of the filters are. And or yeah, so we basically, instead of and, we do end, and we say like, okay, and we want property. Oh, property. We know that's slug in the database because the database column is called slug. Actually, let me open Notion for you so I can walk you through what is happening exactly. So let's see, we have title. So this slug, we are filtering this database for this slug. So that way we can do like property slug, and then we do text because it's just a piece of text, because as you can see, this is a text column. And then we say equals, because it needs to equal. And then we can say slug, which comes from here. So now that we have that, we can say, okay, so the page ID is posts dot results, because we need the results, and we only have okay, so if the slug is not unique, we'll probably get back multiple posts, but that's my bad, because I didn't make it identical, I guess. We're just gonna say, okay, return the first one, because it should only include one post. And then we are going to grab the ID from that. And then we can say, okay, now we have the page is... now we have to get the page. Is notion.pages.retrieve. And then we say page ID is equal to page ID. Or maybe I can just do like page ID, which it doesn't like. So let's do this. And then we also need to get something that's called the blocks, because if we go to Notion and we open this post, for example, everything inside here is a block. This is a block, this is a block, this is a block, this is a title block, this is a paragraph block, etc, etc, etc. So that's cool. We want to grab those blocks because that's actually the thing we are going to write the function for, a renderer function, so that we can render a block. So const await, const blocks await notion dot blocks dot children dot list, and then we get block ID is equal to page ID. And then what are we going to return? We're going to return the page information, which is just page, because we might want to get some of the properties, some of the cover image, like the cover image, etc. And then we're going to do blocks, and then we are going to do blocks.results, because that contains the blocks. So that's great. Let's just go to slug. Hey, why do I have a post and a block route? Let me see. That doesn't exist. That's probably just some cache that was in there. Okay, let's create a loader function. We can actually... No, this is just... No, this is pretty... Let's just think about it. Maybe I want to offload this this thing to the Notion lib file. But let's just first... no, I don't want to... And then we want to do... Let's see, we can get rid of the cursor, we can get rid of this. We have to go to remix and say that we have like routes, API. No, these are not API routes. We just want to say, okay, is it API routes? Let's see if there's anything on routes. That's not routes. Parameterize routes. Okay, that's cool, but I just want to go to the loader thing. Okay, we have access to params, which is great, because now we can do like, let's say, const post is await get post, which we are going to include here, and we need to do the slug, so we need to do params.slug, which is probably well, it can be undefined actually. So why does it say argument of type string is not assignment of type string? Why can the params be like undefined? This can be okay, well, let's just go to here and be like it's either a string or undefined. We probably have to include some error handling as well, but hey, let's just... Yeah, it can be undefined. So why is param string param.slug? Yeah. It's a string. Why the fuck is it argument of type string undefined? This can be undefined because we have a slug here. So whatever the heck you type in there, it's going to be a string. It's going to be an empty string or it's... Okay, let's not worry about this because it's not going to be that big of a deal. We'll just fix that later and dive into the documentation. So we do get posts, and we know that we get page info back and we get like blocks back. So let's say page let's info is like post.page info, and we are going to say like blocks is post.blocks, which needs to be a comma. And for now, let's just console log post. Which we actually are going to see right here, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not? Did get post. Currently it's only showing me... Okay, fuck off. Just completely... Oh, the terminal doesn't work. Okay, let's just start this again. Address already in use. Wait, what? Hey, this is still running for some reason. How did you kill a kill local host 3000? Yep. You can try that. Use it so on, okay. And how do I kill it then? Now it will actually be running if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so now it's killed. Which is exactly what I wanted. Now we're rebuilding it. We can go to blog. We can do test article thingy. And we get everything back, including the blocks. So that is great. So with the page info, which has the properties. So actually, we can normalize this inside of the Notion file to get back better results. Because basically the only thing I need is... Let's see. Function. Let's just include it above the post. So function normalize post. Instead of post, we get the data. And we do this. Let's for now just do any. And let's say we return an object and we want to have the title. We have to merge this together. Or maybe not. Let's call this, let's just call this page info. Let's just normalize the post info, because that way we can easily grab the title, the chronicle, if it's available, of course. And we don't have to go inside of the slug and be like, oh, property, yada, 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 yada. That's all handled from here. The template only needs to worry about getting the values, returning the values, and not like, oh, it's in page info, the properties, the text, the zero index of the text, first object, yada, yada, yada. So we can pretty much steal this. Return data.map. This is any. Normalize post info. Better. So we don't need the slug. We do need the cover image because we want to display the cover image here. We don't need these. Do we need a summary? We don't need a summary. Maybe we do need a summary because the summary actually might be great to include in the description, meta description. Do we want to have the text? No, but we do want to include the canonical, which is basically the same as this, only like canonical. And let me see what we have more. What we need to include. We want to have the publish date because it's right here. Okay, published. Let's say let's call this date. How do we do database property object? How do we get the date? Let's go to date. Dates. Do I have to? Is the date just like the properties the date? Published. This is actually also capitalized. Oh. Let's just see what happens if we just do publish date. Then we can look at the data and determine if we need to do some more filtering. And then we actually want to include the source. So do we call this source? Yeah, let's call this source. Or from. No, let's just call this source. Because it's called source in the database as well. Oh, properties. Source. And how do this work? This is a select option. Dot name? Is that it? Let's just wait and see. So, if I'm not mistaken, we already have this. Data.map is not a function. I think that's just a small, teeny tiny problem. Data.map is not a function. There was an error running the data loader for route. And why is that? Because probably this is an object. Yep. So we don't actually have to map it. We just do this. So remove the map. Just call data D. And just do it this way. Cannot we properties on the farm reading 0? On what exactly? Let's remove the console log from here, just for a quick second. And let's see what we're working with in here, because if I'm not mistaken, this just should be the data object, right? Or is it? Okay, refresh. Okay, so this gives me the object. So I can D. This is D. So D dot properties. Yes. Reading 0. What are you on about? What is reading 0? Cannot read properties of undefined 0. Is it? These are actually the two I'm not that certain about. Okay. That is great. So we have a properties title with a title, which is 0, which is plain text. Then we have files. Or we have image, which is a files type, which is also an array with 0. Then we have summary, rich text, 0. Then we have a canonical, which is of type URL. Aha. 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 That's the problem. That's the freaking gabagoo. Okay, but let's see. We have published date, which is an object. So that's something we're going to return. And we have a source, which is a select, which is a null. Which we actually already returned. So if we have this, we have that. If we have summary, we have canonical, which we just return the URL. Ooh. Now is it still complaining? No, it's not still complaining. Okay, so we don't longer have to do this. We can go return this. And now we can reload this. And that will probably give me this. Cool. Now, the moment you have been waiting for. Is it normalized? It is. Test block article thingy, cover image, summary, canonical is null, source is undefined. Why is source undefined? I don't want to use undefined, I rather use null. So this is actually kind of interesting. So canonical returns null, while source returns undefined. Why is that? Because if we go up here, we have a source which just says source, text summary, canonical publication, source. Select is null. Oh well, if it's undefined or if it's null, it's basically the same. It's not the same thing, but I can live with that. It's a personal site. It's not something other developers are going to work on, so I'm not really bothered by that. Then we are not going to normalize the blocks because that would be quite cumbersome, and I already have some render function in place for that, which we are going to just to blatantly rip off from another project. So we have the date, which has an ID, which has a type, date, and then a date. So can I normalize this a bit more? Let's say if it... let's also check this. If it doesn't have a date, there's no need to immediately break the page. Ooh. We have to scroll up just a bit. And we now know that the date is start and null. So we only need start date. We are probably going to format that with date.fns because that's the fastest. Or maybe I can just look into how we can do that with plain JavaScript. That would be cool. I think that's possible as well. Okay, now the first thing we are going to do is parental slug. No, we're not going to do that because those are just some problems we are going to focus on later. Let's say that now that we have access to this, how did you do that again? You can just use loader data. I don't need to say initial post. Let's say post, use loader data. Let's not be bothered by this. And we need to import this. And then I can say in here to post.title. Excuse me, post.info.title. Does this work? We are going to find out. Test block article thingy. It works. It works. It works. It works. Now we are going to get rid of this. And we are going to say it's an image, isn't it? No. Cover image. Did we call it cover image? Normalize post info. What do we call it there? Cover. Okay. Let's just say cover image. Wow. Look at that. It works. Wow. Okay. So published on Okay, so if we don't have this, we might actually just show it like this. Okay, we need to const render meta is this. So if source I post.info source, we are going to return a spawn like this, or better yet, we are going to do it this way. Let's just do it this. You can basically do render meta here. Otherwise we return no. Published on January 4. Okay, so if the page has a source, we are going to say, let's go to a page that actually has a source. So, which is this one. So, let's see. Let's console log post.info so we can have a better look at what's going on. Stroke width, yeah, of course. Stroke line cap, I don't care. Oh, shice. Actually, now I'm quite interested into stroke line cap. What's the problem with yada 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 yada? Okay, not going to be bothered with that. So we have a canonical cover image. So basically, this is going to be changed with the post.info.canonical canonical less font semi-bold, and I probably also, let me quickly get the no ref no follow. It's really annoying that we have to include that every single time we are going to do it target blank, but hey, this is the way. I'm actually kind of bothered with stroke. What is it on about? It's probably on about the, yep. Ah. Functions are not valid as a React child. Is this the problem? Yep, this is the problem. Okay, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to do this, right? I don't need to do that. But why? Oh well, let's not be bothered about this. Actually, let's use memo for this because it doesn't need to re-render at all. Use memo. Which is... how do we use memo again? Use memo. Memorize value. Will only recommute. I've not been using these things enough. So const render meta is use memo is this is this. So remove this. Oh, sorry, use callback. If post.info changes. Cool. So what do we have here? We don't have a source. Title, canonical, date, summary, title. So why don't we have a source? Did I misspell it? Am I just naively stupid? Source undefined. Now we have the source. So why don't... Okay, so we have... okay, so we have to do source, select. And then from there we have to do name. Now it's going to... That's funny. Oh, that's actually not all that funny. We can just do page.info.source. Oh, sorry, post.info.source. It has to be post.info.source. Publish to dev2. And then we have to do like one. Are you going to wrap this inside of a spawn? No, we are just going to wrap this inside of a fragment because it's going to be rendered inside of the text. Yep. Published on dev2 on January. Published to, is it published to or published on? Published to or on? If we're talking about the website, the right version would be on. Okay, right, cool. So this is nice. Now, basically this is the metadata correct, right? Oh, we have to actually set the meta text. I don't want to do this. Just give me the fucking meta functions. Yep. let's do that below here. Do I have access? So let's say this is I don't know, post.info title. Does this work? Cannot probably in the find. How am I actually going to set the... So we highly recommend setting title description on every route besides layout route. Yes. Yes, in some cases necessary. Yes, that's cool, but I want to... Meta function is... Okay. Meta function is passed an object that has following data is whatever exported the loader function. So I can just do data. So it'd be like data. Page context in meta function. Meta function is passed an object that has the following data. Meta function. I guess. Yeah, so that works. Cool. So now we have access to that, and then we can do data.info.summary as the description. And then we need a bunch of at the time of sources. Okay, cool. And then we need all the OG things. But it was actually saying something like there were some exceptions. There are few special cases like title runs attack, OG style stacks will render meta property content. The rest will render meta name key. And name of nested routes. So they have a little OG image. Okay. Okay. Alright. Do we need an OG image? We can do an OG image. Let's say OG image is like data.info.cover. It's cover image, right? Cover image. And now we are actually going to see that inside of this page. So one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is that I need to go over SEO meta tags, because I forget to do that in the layout, and well, it's necessary to have some proper SEO in order to be taken serious. Cool. So we have this. Now we have to format the dates. So format dates. Yes. How to format the JavaScript date? Date to local string. Okay. So we do like published on time HTML tag. That was something we were going to look at once we get to this. How to find time? I have date time. Okay, so we can do like date time is equal to page posts info date. And I meant date time. So if we look at the date now, it's object. And that's because we need to normalize it here because we are never going to set a date rate. So we do like start date, I guess. Am I stupid? Why didn't this render correctly? Title, cover image, chronicle. Where's the date? Where is the date? Summary, source, title. Hello? Hey, it doesn't have a date. That's odd. Why? Why don't you have a date, my little friend? We have published date. We spelled that right. Let's just have a look why it's not in there. Oh. A little bit too fast. So, what's the matter, babe? So we have dates. So if we have published date, then we want to include date. Okay, and then we want to include the date of start. Cool. Now it should work. Yep, it does work. Okay, we want to do that to local string. To local date string. Okay, so we can do this. And then we can define the date options is like, for now, it's just an empty thing. Do I need to include, let's just keep the console log there for now. Let's say that we can do this inline. It doesn't really matter all that much. Post info dates to local date string undefined date options. Does it render? Will it render? Back. And I can just do this now, right? Now it's complaining that it isn't the date. Yep. Okay. I might actually want to include that on top so that we know Published date. Let's make it a bit more obvious so that people know when they read my code, they know where to look. So we refresh this. Now we get a local thingy back. And then we can say we want the weekdays to be long. What happens if we do this? Friday. How did I design this again? Let's open Figma. Did I have a design for this? Let's just quickly tell some of the documentation. Vankruid.com. We're getting along quite well actually today. See, sometimes you just need a day's sleep to get through some problems you might try to solve. Yesterday was a tough day. The basic nation didn't want to work. A lot of the CSS was a bit tough to handle. And today I'm just like, oh, well, clickety-clickety-clack. Okay, that works. Let's move on to the next issue. Just better this way. But let's see. Then we have like the year, which we also want to do like year. Let's do that numeric. And let's say day. We also want to show numeric. Come on. You can do it. You can refresh. On 9 Friday 2021. Okay. I want to have Friday 9. I'm going to specify that it is US. That's what it wants me to write. US. ANUS. Yes. ¿Qué pasa? I could specify that, right? Donderdag 20 December. And if I leave that undefined, then it works. What? Type of weekday or it's either long or short. Is it just complaining about that it's not assignable to type long, short, narrow? Well, I could also just leave this out of here, do like this, and just see what this does. 7/9/2021. That just looks awful. Weekday string, year string. Well, fuck you. This is a string. Why? What's wrong? Why isn't complaining? Type string is not assignable to type long, short, narrow, undefined. Fuck. We need to include it from here. Sorry. Why is it 9 Friday? I want Friday 9. Oh, I am stupid. Oh my god. It's not a weekday. And this is exactly the reason why I get annoyed sometimes with myself. Just have a better look and assess the problem better before you go like, oh, let's debug everything. And now that's wrong, and that's because we have like... is that... No. We need the Stack Overflow thingy. But where can I find the options? But if weekday, year, Monday properties are all undefined, and here there is numeric. Do I have to watch this? Date styles, format, full, long, medium, short, times of full, long, medium, short, calendar, day period. Do I have to include it? Oh, maybe it will just tell me. Type string is not something numeric, 2-digit, or undefined. Type property year. It's numeric. What the actual... Numeric to mission long. Okay, right. Yeah, this should be fine. But it's still... Type string is not assignable to either type numeric digits. Oh, fuck off. Datetime form. Let's just... Let's see what's the problem here. Missing specific type date format options. So maybe just someone commented below here saying would be a break and change. We'll discuss. Make options. Is this what we need? And now it doesn't complain anymore. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I'm new to TypeScript. I'm learning things while I go. So basically, if you do a const, then you are... And why is this argument is not fine multiple? Yep. Let's also search for this. Let's just do a little bit of TypeScript. Beepity poppity. Normal string is supposed to note the exclamation mark here. That if this looks like it could be null, it can trust that it's not. Okay, or... Yeah, but... Okay, let's just do either it's filled out or it's not. But you can't render this page. No, so you can just assume that it has something here. Okay, so now we have the we can implement the how are we going to do the reading time? Yes, calculate reading time. How to do words per minute? Jesus. Are we going to include this functionality? I don't think we actually have a... So, what do I need to do in order to get this? No, this will just be a performance hog, and I don't think people actually need this information for now. Oh, but it looks so much better including it. Okay, we probably have to get to that. But for now, let's just focus on finish UI. We can add one more. Hook up reading codes, reading time. Implement reading time. Cool. Implement reading time. Okay, so this is Dev 2. Let's open a Remote 101 blog to see if this works as well. Let's just do randomly this one. Does this still work? Ew, 4 tips for managing a remote team. Bada bing, bada boom. This works on the 7/7, and then we only have to hook up the reading time. That's fine. Let's just focus on rendering the blocks. So we are going to do this. How are we going to do this? Components, blocks, text render. Oh no, this is going to be quite the... Okay, so basically we have to map over everything for the text renderer or for the blocks. So is this going to be a library? No, this is going to be a component. Which, how should we call this? Blocks. I guess we just call this block a block component or blocks. Let's just do it this way. Index.js. Okay, so const export default named function blocks. which takes blocks. If no blocks, return, let's just return it AP with nothing. Let's see here. Otherwise, okay, and then we also indeed have this little line. I'm just again copying pasting from a previous project that I've done. Only thing now is that there are actually way more blocks supported, so I need to update this. But hey, that's not a problem. We'll just take it line by line. We'll just be like, okay, filter out the unsupported blocks because we can't render them. We have nothing to render. Actually, even in the Notion API, nothing is returned. So we can't render something that's empty, right? Okay, and now we are going to build a big switch, which is fine. So const render blocks is supported blocks because we filtered out all the unsupported blocks. Map, and we're going to wrap over the block, and then we are going to do a switch on b.type because we need to have a block type, which is in this. Okay, then let's first do case paragraph, for which we need to return some text. For this we need to include a text renderer because the way Notion works, if we go to Notion, which I've opened here, is if you open a page, basically the blocks that we are going to render, these are the blocks. So we get a post from Notion and we get back a array with objects, which are the blocks. And now we are checking, okay, so this is a paragraph, right? We want to render that as a paragraph. So we need some sort of text renderer. But what's interesting about it, if I was to bold people, Notion actually tells me from, okay, this is a piece of text. This is going to be a paragraph, but people is actually bold. So that's another object. So basically inside of text renderer, we need to do some magic that extracts pieces of text to render them bold, italic, as a link even. I mean, I can place a link in here, like working remotely. I can do HTTPS or remote 101 or whatever. That also works. But we need to write an entire renderer function for that. Which is fine. But for now, let's just see. Let me see. Let's go back to block and let's open the text renderer. My documentation on the site, I will go over everything. Don't you worry. Every piece of text or every line of code I'm writing here, I will explain. So let's see how this is done. Is this mapped over as well? Yeah, so basically the way the text renderer works is that it renders spawns inside of text. So we map over it. If something is bold, we render a spawn and we give that spawn something. Do we need to, let's see. Okay, so the way the text renderer works is const text render is content and plain. Content.length is null. We do return a block. If resolve text decoration, okay, that's just the text decoration thing. Then we do the text props. Then if content length is 1, we have all the annotations. We have the text link. We return a box with an image. Okay, so that's something we don't have to do. Text as plain. So let's see if we can just render it as a paragraph now before we implement the whole text. Let's do the text renderer last. So basically what we are going to do is text renderer is the... Oh, it actually, everything needs a key, right? So we can do like b.id. And here we can say like paragraph text. And we actually have some headings. So let's put those both, and otherwise we have a default. And we can default, and we will return like, basically if it has come to default, we can pretty much just do a span, say not supported yet, not supported. If I ever encounter this while publishing a blog post, I know that I fucked up and I need to write some heading 1. I need to write some additional stuff or additional UI. Let's go to developers.notion.com to see what we are working with. So if the block object, is there information in here? Block, it has a type. Okay, so we have paragraph heading 1, which will return a h1 with like the b.heading 1.text 0.text content. Then we have a default. And then we can do the same, pretty much the same for heading 2. Okay, 2. And then we do 2. And then we can also have like heading 3, which is heading 3 and then h3. And I don't need much more. So we have h3. Then we have a bullet list item, numbered list item to do toggle child pages. Oh, look at this. They imported a lot of new things. And indeed, we have unsported here, which we do there. And then we can do like return render blocks. Do we want to include anything else? I might want to support videos and images. But I'm not going to do that right now at this moment. Let's first get the render blocks on the page, and then we can go from there. So the way I'm going to do this is, let's see. Let's go to pages, posts, select. How did I import this and how did I use it? I think basically it's just blocks. Yep. So we go to select. And we can remove all this placeholder crap. And we can be like block, which is this. And I think we need to import it. Cannot find name block. It needs to be blocks. And then we can probably say... Let's just call this folder blocks as well. That makes more sense. Because it are blocks. It's not a block component, it's a blocks component. And can I import it now? Okay, I have to import it manually. Which is fine. Could not find a declaration file for module component blocks implicit any type. Well, you can pretty much suck my D because it's in there. And see, it even works. So we can do blocks because it's... Then we can do like post.block blocks. Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? It won't work. Why is that? How do we return this? Yeah, we do this as blocks. Could not find a declaration file for module blocks. Export default function. Export default function blocks. Okay, I will let this sink in for a little bit while I am going to grab myself a drink and go to the toilet. So I will be back in like 2 to 3 minutes. Be right back, baby. I am back. Okay. Let's see. What's the problem, baby? Export default function. Blocks is blocks. Oh, this is not the way it works. What's this? Oh, I am stupid. Second time I make this mistake. Okay, now we can see what's going on here. What's going on here? Breakfast. Console log a post dot blocks. Let's see what we're working with and why it's being a bitch. Now it doesn't console log. Let's remove the blocks. Let's do this. Now it will render. Is it passed around as an object? That's something... No, it's actually a... So, okay. So we have blocks. So if no blocks, we can do this. Yeah, I don't care. So we do blocks.filter. B. Yeah, implicit any. I don't care about the implicit any for now. I'm just wondering why the freaking fuck. Type paragraph. Okay, that's cool. And if you have a paragraph, we have B, which is a... And then we have b.paragraph.text 0, array 0, and then we have text. And then we have content. Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. This is probably the issue why this didn't want to render. If I'm not mistaken, get some overlapping time. Try to feel his mind. What the fuck is this? Improve. Okay, so these are probably the H2, right? So if I color the... If I go into blocks... And you are right here. So if I give this a class name, and I say like text red, this will probably update red. Interesting. What the fuck are you? You are H2 and you are text red. And forgot the 400. And now it's probably red. It is red. It works. Okay. Let's not be bothered by styling. We'll do that towards the end. Let's just be kind of like... Okay, so we have paragraph. Did I spell this right? Paragraph. Yes. b.paragraph. If b.paragraph, it's type paragraph. Yes. Then we have like text, which is... Ah, shit. Ah, no. We fucked up. It's text.0.text.content. Now we will have some paragraphs. See. Okay. This is cool. Each child should have a key. That's right. I'm kind of interested in why is... So the H2 has a... Because it has a space of Y. Would you be so kind to fuck off? Thank you. And this can fuck off. Thank you. Cool. So now we just have some plain old text. Let's see. We also want to include the number list items. I don't know actually if I have any blocks, but hey, let's just do like this. Okay, now I am actually going to... No, I'm not going to copy it over. I'm going to type it out so it's obvious for every bullet. Just go here. Bulleted list item, right. Numbered list item is return. And then we have a case of numbered list item, return, which we don't actually have, but hey, it's something. And let's also do case image, because case image and case video. case image, return case embed, which is return. Do we want to how embedded block framework? Okay, I don't want to include any embeds. I mean, tweets are embedded. You could do some cool stuff, but hey, let's not be bothered about it for now. Let's just have a little look-see at, okay, for a bullet list item, the only thing that's kind of impossible to do is wrap it inside of a UL. So let's not be bothered. LE, and let's say this is actually something we need to render inside of a text renderer. Now that I think of it. Which is not too bad, I guess. Well, it actually is too bad because now we can't make a distinction between an unordered list and a ordered list. So how would I go about that? Once we find a bullet, let's see if we have like list. Maybe they improved it since the last time. Let's say list. Block object types. I can't. Paragraph block, heading 1 block, heading 3 block, yada yada yada. Quote blocks. Bullet list item. The bullet list item contains the following information within the bullet list property. So bullet list item text. So it has text, so it does render text, but numbered list item block contains following bullet list. Okay, but it doesn't actually tell me whether it other keys excluded bullet list. It's just one. Let's go. So if we have like 5 bullet list items, we get like 5 bullet listings to. You know what? Instead of like thinking about how it might work, let's just what? Reading name. Fuck off. What's the matter, babe? What? Normalize post info. Is this? Yep, this is this. So it probably did have a source. It doesn't have a source at all, so why is it complaining that it... If I do this, it will say... Okay, that works. I just had to include that one as well. So ID. Each list should have a valid. Why are you... What are you going on about this is a key, this is a key, this is a keys? Am I missing something? just do this. Still complaining about it? No, I just forgot to save the actual file. Hey, see, we have like a couple of bullet points. We have a couple of bullet points. So how is this rendered? In NLE, and how does it come back? So this is actually something we can block. Okay, let's see. It's probably somewhere around here. Do we really have to count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it's 11. Bullet list item. It actually only does it this way. And this is also the way that Notion renders it. If I like change this to turn into numbered list item, how would that work? As far as I know, you can only render like list only in OL text, right? You don't have a special thing, yeah. How does Notion? Okay, in that case, if I wanted to include UL and LEs, I first have to scan the entire freaking thing. I'm not going to do that, so I need to come up with a clever way, which basically is like class name. Probably is like a Tailwind's probably support. Is this the best way to do it? Most certainly not, but I don't really care about list semantics. If it's going to cost me like a couple of hours to get it right, I seldomly use like ordered list. Oh, actually, I got a follow, I just noticed 30 minutes ago. Let me rerun it. Dmitry Maximov. Okay, I'm not going to pronounce the entire name, but thank you for the follow, my man. All right. Let's say list style type decimal. If I just do this, it will probably work and it will render as decimals. Am I right? I am right. Okay. Problem solved. Problem solved, my man. Now it's just a matter of... Okay, so why is this complaining? Property block is missing the type React element any but requires type props. I don't care. I will go just go over the TypeScript later because it's... I don't know. I have the feeling that worrying about TypeScript too much because I'm fairly new to it has cost me a lot of hours on this project just by bumping my head. I mean, I basically had a stream last week where I was too worried about the TypeScript issue that I spent like 2 hours searching for the right way to do it, and it turned out that there wasn't really one right way to do it. It's just, it was one of these issues, but you can fix it, but 99% of people just place any behind it because it's just too goddamn cumbersome to type out. Especially for this kind of project. I mean, yeah, I'll probably have to import some types to type check the blocks. But hey, I don't really mind just some gradual adoption. Maybe I have someone review my my website with TypeScript knowledge, hop on a call and be like, okay, so fun. This is everything you did wrong, and this is how you approach it, and then I can actually learn something way faster than googling everything. And TypeScript isn't going to really scream rape and murder if I just deploy it like this. Okay, so we have the block types, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. Now let's work on the text renderer. Or first let's just do an image. Which has a card type, child, database, image blocks. Which first has a, and also has a key of b.id. Do images have an alt? No. That's an issue. How does post inline? Or just, well, yeah, let's just call this post image. Is that a great alt? Most certainly not. But it's just Notion API image alt. Huh. It just says me to my own freaking post. Oh, god damn it. Okay, that's not what we want though. Let's see the syntax. Images in a Notion page with Gatsby source Notion name. No, that's not what I'm looking at. Okay, that was the meme of the day. Oh shit. I probably just have to do it this way and search for. I think I read it somewhere in like the changelogs. Caption probably is now supported for code block type, simple tabling, integration, time support, single blocks, column list, validation, date times, breadcrumbs. Table content use can now equation blocks, embedded bookmarks, and media blocks. Is there something about a caption? Do images support captions? Let's just implement an image inside of this place. Let's do image. Grab something from Unsplash, this one. And then I can caption it maybe. Be like, it's a woman. And then I can be like, okay, so we have an image. Let's go back to this one. Where is it? Block types. Image blocks. I don't know if it will have a caption though. But hey, let's just do b.image.external.url. Good evening, Twan. I just finished the coffee, but I'm very tired. By the way, thanks for yesterday's tips. Really help. Great, man. Just curious, how exactly did it help? Did it just save you a lot of time, or did you find out that, hey, I don't actually need someone to explain everything to me? I can just like read through the docs or the course notes, I guess it was. Read through the course notes and just take it from there. Application error. Undefined property of text. It saved time and I actually did more coding than reading. Yeah, that's the way. More coding than reading. What is it going on about can't read text? These things are so freaking unclear. which text are we talking about here? So API build array.map, it's in block. So what? How was your day so far? Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I fixed the whole page ignition issue which I had yesterday, which I was really annoyed about. I didn't have really that great of a night yesterday because I was a little bit irritated with the Notion API. But then again, I had a great night's sleep. I started coding around 12 today, and I pretty much implemented the page ignition thing in like an hour. Even less than an hour. I think it was half an hour. And now I am working on the block renderer. So I can actually render out some blocks. But why is the text... So, do we need to... Which text is it referring to? Cannot read properties undefined. Reading text. What if I just do like source empty? Maybe I screwed up somewhere. No, it's still on about the text. So do we do it like this? Ah, probably because there now is an empty space. Oh, we need to save this first. We can refresh this. Yeah, exactly, because there's an empty space. Okay. So that's not something we need to worry about for this. This is only for the paragraph. Man, I just imagine the life of having work from home in more dreams to say. Working from home is great, man. Although you really need to have the right mentality. Because, yeah, I started a little bit later today, but I am running my own business. So some days can be pretty chill, while other days I'm like bouncing 70 things around, waking up at 6 AM and ending my workday right before the gym. I mean, it can be hectic sometimes, but oh well. Keeps it fun, I guess. Now let's have a look at the... I need an image block. Where did I place the 1, 2, 3? So basically it's here. Yeah, type image. And it has a caption. That is great. Because now we can do like b.image.caption. I don't understand why they make this an array, because it can only have a single caption. Can you like style the captions? Well, I don't care. I just want the plain text, right? Just give me the plain text and I should be good. So we can do this. Otherwise it's no and it won't render. Now I have to start studying and also have dinner as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Sorry for leaving. Hey, no problem at all, man. Glad you upped in. Glad you showed your face. Have a great dinner. Enjoy your dinner and have a great study night, my man. Go for it. It's a win. Yes, this works. And otherwise it won't have an alt, so I have to remember to always include a caption. Otherwise, Google is not going to be happy with me. But oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. It is what it is, so we say. Now I can also do like this, and this, and this. Oops. And all those things will also have text. Yep. Yep. What time is it? 15:47. This website is turning out to be a bit more work than I originally thought. But hey, I'm having fun working on it. And that's probably because I'm trying to do everything on stream, so I'm only getting like half days work. Maybe a little less because I'm talking to chat and explaining things to the camera. So I'm in kind of a dilemma. Because I want to finish this website before the end of the week. Am I going to stream like tomorrow, the day after, and on Sunday to document everything? I guess not. Am I going to finish this website next week? No, next week I actually have to shift my focus to getting some freelance projects, because I'm just spending too much of my own money, man. And I have the skills to take on some freelance projects and earn some money. I will think about it. Maybe I will just sit down tomorrow and have a little focus session without stream, just to finish everything up. And then we can go over everything I did, or everything special I did. Or I will just have a focus stream tomorrow where I will just not talk. But then again, if new viewers come in, that might suck for them. I will have to think about it. But one thing's for certain, I want to release this puppy. Oh well, let's just go on with this and see where we as we say in the Netherlands, we zien wel waar het schip strandt. We'll see we'll see where the ship strands. I think how it works out, where it takes, how it turns out, how it plans out, or whatever. You get it. So where do we go from here? I think we'll actually work on the text renderer now. Because this works, right? Everything is in here. We added in most, and we have numbered list, bullet list, heading tree. Yeah, we don't need anything more for a block. Do we want to support the video block? You know what? When I'm going to include a video for... Oh, but actually I might need one video for one remote 101 post. Huh. Interesting. So, okay, let's just see how difficult it would be to include a video block. I guess it won't be that difficult at all. If we just do like this and we say, okay, this is a video. And then we have to go to video HTML. What? Okay. Oh, and you have to include a source. Let's just are videos always MP4s? Let's go to remote. I probably have to, oh, I don't have to log in, so that's great. Stop talking about the remote. Where did I place the video again? No, watch your health, take up your space. Communicating nation. This is it. So what if I take this and I copy this to like... How does this? It just doesn't copy it over. Hello? Why don't you want to copy over? Because it probably doesn't know how to. Let's see. It does. Let's just include it from YouTube. It doesn't have to be crazy at work. It doesn't have to be crazy at work.
Well, as your head of HR, I am pleased as punch to tell you about some of our benefits. But we don't call them benefits. We call them friendship requirements.
meme. Oh, god damn it. I will just... Why am I thinking about this? So, here, let me view the post. Let me go here. Let me take this. Let me close this.
I mean, today was enraging.
This is great.
I'm at work, I send an email to Jen, and I look, and 3 whole minutes have gone by, no response. So I send her a text, and I see the red receipt, so I know she got it. Then I go over, I'm looking for her, can't find her. I check my Fitbit. I have done 3,000 steps looking for her. I go into the conference room, she's in there, and I said, hey, I sent you a Slack message, sent you an email. It's been almost 4 minutes. Where are you? Why aren't you responding? And she said, I was texting my daughter. Oh, what am I, invisible? God.
So relatable. But let's see how this works. If we just place the block like for... Let's just make it the first block so it's easy for us. And let's just... music again. So what happens if we do this? Like embed video, I guess? Embed video. Oh, yeah. Get in there. Whenever. Okay, and now we reload. Okay, we don't do the video. We return a... I don't know. Let's just return not supported for now. So we can see what we actually get back. So I expect to see not supported. Yep, it's here. So we go to the console. We do this. We do a yada yada. It's the first one. It's a video. Okay, but then again, let me... No.
I mean, today was
Fuck off.
enraging. So
Fuck
I'm
off.
at work, I sent an email to Jen.
Go away. Go away, woman. Embed video, create bookmark. Okay, so I can only embed it as video. In that case, I probably need... Let's just see how this works. Case video is return a video element with a source of... I don't know. Let's say it's a video beat. Let's first have a key before I forget that one, which is b.id. And then we can do b.video.external.url and be done with it. I don't know. Does this work? We will see. I don't think so. I think we need to dabble around with... video element with YouTube as source, and let's also do HTML. Does this need to be an iframe? Yeah, exactly. It needs to have an embed. So I probably have to do something like... I would probably only include YouTube and Vimeo things. So let's just do iframe. Let's iframe this biatch. Let's see if this works. YouTube refused to connect. Gonna embed rather. Oh shit. I have to string replace this motherfucker. Because now it's YouTube Watch, right? And I need to have YouTube embed. how does this return? This returns as a YouTube watch. So I probably have to embed slash string replace. Yes, replace part. How do we do that again? Okay, so we have this dot replace https YouTube. Basically, we do like watch. Yeah, slash. What was it again? Watch slash v is with embed slash. Will this work? It worked. Okay, then we do allow full screen, yada yada. Then we do like class name, and we do like aspect ratio because I know tailwind, aspect ratio, video. But I wanted to have a width of full, and then does it automatically? Let's just see. Yep. This worked because I now, if I do this, it probably won't work, right? It will just go on the entire width, or it will just, yep, exactly. Oh, this is so nice. I can say, yo, take the full width and then just make an aspect ratio video so it always looks nice. Ooh, this is becoming smexy. Now, the only problem with having it this way is that I can only upload YouTube videos now to my blog. It only supports YouTube videos. So I might actually need to... I am not going to do anything about it. But I will add it to my backlog so I remember this issue. Oh, I haven't had lunch today. Well, that's nice. I'm okay with it. Create function to embed videos from other places than YouTube. Currently, we string replace watch with embed, but that will definitely break Vimeo sources. Vimeo as a source, for example. What's the matter, babe? Okay, so this works. That's block article thingy. Now I think it's time to work on the text renderer. And then we go over all the styles. And then we have the blog page down. And then we have a pretty good first version of the site. Of course, we still have this entire finish UI list to go over, including the mobile navigation, which I never look forward to because I hate coding mobile navigations for some reason. That's just my, I don't know, that's my antichrist. Actually, we did this. We hooked up Notion. We are just bothered with... Okay, now I can actually just say... we have started with finishing the UI by starting with style post page. Yep. We are going to do that right freaking now. Because we need a text renderer. Because the way Notion works is I can make things bold. I can make things a link. I can do a lot of things with inside Notion with text. Like make it bold. create a link, create an equation, underline it, make it italic. I don't know, just make a oops, sorry. Just do this and let's say https:// Dutch news site. What more can I do? I can make it a quote block, which I'm not going to do at the moment. I am not going to use colors because why the hell should I use colors? Do I need a code block? I probably need to style some sort of code block so I can do code examples on my site, but I don't know. I will just get to that later. Okay, so now that we have some different text in here, let's actually make or go to text renderer. So let's make this smaller because actually we can make this way. Let's just do it this way. Let's just go in here and create a new file called textrenderer.tsx. Export default named function textrenderer, which takes the content and for some reason the plane, which again I'm looking at my third monitor here on the side because I actually implemented the text renderer for Notion.js for the Publisher Club, which is basically a free template you can download to create a blog with. But it's now that I'm working on this, I think it's due for an update due to all the new block types. But hey, maybe I'll just write a new one in the remix, or I will make a Next.js, or I will create it in HTML CSS. I don't know. I will have to talk to Sven about it. Our first focus now is on upper blend. And then later on we can move forward with the Publisher Club. It basically needs a big rework with all the new exciting changes to the Notion CMS or Notion API, I must say. Not Notion CMS, Notion API. So let's freaking see, shall we, mates? So where do we use the plane here? Let's see. So we have components, we have blocks. I'm missing something here. I first want to figure out where exactly this plane thing is. Again, I'm looking at code, but I'm doing that on my other monitor. Not okay. So we have contents. Then why is it plain? Oh, we actually need that for the lists. Let's just go with the flow and see if we need it later. We can always remove it in favor for something else. So export default function text renderer, which gets content and plain. Then we need to include props here. And again, we just do content, any, and plain is optional, and it's a boolean. And now it's going to whine. And in the end, we return something, right? Yeah, but let's not be bothered with that for now. Let's just return null for now, just to satisfy the compiler. Oh, well, fuck it. Let's just do a p lol. Okay, so const. Okay, indeed, if content.length is equal to 0, so basically if we have white space, which we can see, do we have white space in this blog? Yeah, we do have white space. So underneath here is some white space in this post. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4. We have a paragraph with no text. Which you might not imagine. This is great because that way we can just apply a line break. Apply a line break. Or we can just return null. Which is fine as well. Is this fine? Yeah, that's fine. Why type null is not assignable to type props? Just why do I need to include it like here? Oh shit, that's the problem. Oops. It's not a return type, of course. Oh, do I need to return everything? Ah, it's so obvious that it's going to be returned as a React. Okay, fuck that. Fuck. Can we do that? Wasn't this like props? Okay, I'm not going to dabble around with that just now. If content, we're just going to return null. Cool. Cool. Now we are going to add the... Yeah, so basically what we need to do is... Notion, actually, if we've updated this, and how it comes back is if we go to, like, it's this, I guess. Yeah, this is an array of 7. Basically, it's now, because we have all these text decorations, it will render as an array, but it will say that it has different annotations per text. So most themes are, which is this part, is not styled. So you won't have any annotations. False, false, default, false, false, false. But actually now we have currently, and it says it has a href. Currently it has a link. So we can say, okay, if text has a link, we can load that link. And we can style it as a link, because it hasn't have any styling. And then if we go further, working this, we made productive. Yeah, we gave productive a bold. So yeah, you can see this one's underline is true. So basically we have to write a checker which gives the proper the proper styling, or applies the proper classes to the text. So for now it's only like the annotations. So bold, code, color. Color, we aren't going to do anything with color, so bold, code, italic, strike to, underline. Actually, we might... we can do this better, I guess. By just writing it in line with the thing. Okay, let's move on. Let's skip over this a bit. Let's just say resolve. I will remember it by writing out the function name or the constant name, or whatever it's going to be once we get to it. Resolve text decoration. Text resolver. Oh, that's the way to do it. Yeah, so they basically press down, strike to an underline, or resolve. So you can either have both, or you can have nothing. And indeed, we have the annotations, we have the text, which is constant. No, okay. So if content.length is equal to 1, we do. And no. I can just grab this piece of code. We can do this. If Okay, now if text has a link, we return an A with the text.link. Does it have a URL? Yep, textlink.url. And with like the text.content. Okay, and now we have to also target blank and no refer. Yep. And then we say resolve props and we have a color. So can't I just pass down the annotations as a whole freaking thing? Let's just do that. Let's just... Maybe we can create some sort of resolve text decoration const, which takes the annotations. And we know that the annotations are like... So, const... We know that we can destructure this, so we have annotations. And we might as well say let annotation classes is equal to an empty array. And then we can do a... Basically, we need to look at if bold, if code, if color, if italic, if strike to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Can we do a switch? No. Can we do a map? No. Or can we? No, basically we just have true, false, true, false. Do I have to create an if for everything? Isn't there a smarter way to do this? No, I guess not. If bold, one line if statement. Yes. Is there an alternative? Yeah, basically there is. So if bold, we can do annotation classes dot append font semi bold. Boolean string array. Why doesn't append velocity? Oh, push. Sorry. Append is... I don't know why I got confused. If code annotation classes dot push. Now we have to do some tailwind magic. So let's open code. Font mono. I guess. How did I do code? Oh, we basically give it a different color. Okay, that's font mono. Let's just not be bothered about that. I don't want to do anything with the color because I think that is silly. If you have a strike through, line through. it's not all a boolean if I'm not mistaken. Fuck. It's no. How am I not selecting? Yeah, give me this. So basically it's all that. Only color is like a string. Cool. I can give this a class name of resolve text decoration annotations. And then we can do return. How do we do this? Return annotation classes. And then we can do this. Array to string. That is actually, I'm quite happy with how this works, because this, I think it can I do better? I don't know. There might be a better way to do this, but I like this. If bold, if code, if italic, if strike to if underline. Yeah, I mean, I like it. And it returns a string. Cool. So if text link, then we do this and this. Else we return if it's, now we have to do a bit of magic. We also have to say if plain will return a span, which also has this, and text.content. Else we return a p, which has like the same. Which also has text contents, and then we render spawns. Wait, what did I miss here? Okay, so we have div is content null if equals 1. Content.map. Okay, so if we have more. Okay, so basically we now, this is if we only have a single, like there's only one paragraph in it. We have 0 paragraphs, we're just going to return null because we don't have to do anything with that because we are going to work with margins. Now, if we only have one line of text or one line of content, because remember, if we open this one, we have, this has 3 lines of text. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, so content comes from there. Okay, so if we have a 3, we are not going to render this, but right here we have 7, and right here we have only 1. So basically, this block goes through this text renderer. Now we end with, we say, okay, if we have a text with a lot of annotations, we need to render those annotations inside of spawns, because spawns are inline blocks and they all need to be part of a parent, which is a paragraph, because we render paragraphs inside there, we render spawns for styling. So let's call this render spans. And basically what we are going to do is, since we know that content is bigger than 1, we can map over it since it's an array. And then we can say a value, or like, should we call it content? No, let's say just, yeah, let's just call it value and index. And then do this. And then we have the same as we have here. Only now we say like value. Why did I use content 0 there? Probably because, yeah, no, because indeed it's only as 1, so we need content of 0. Yeah, okay. So annotations and text. And then we can do the same thing here. Basically, I think we can do this. We can copy it over with some... Oh. Let's see. Okay, otherwise it's a spawn. Okay, so we can copy this over. And otherwise we'll return a spawn with text.content. Yeah, pretty much the same way we do it here. Right? If I'm not mistaken, this is the way to go. And then finally, instead of returning lol, which is not the way to go, you just return ap with like render spawns. And that's that. Okay, so now we go into the blocks and we say import text renderer from text renderer. Or better, maybe, nah, no, just it's in the same fucking folder. So let's just take that. And what we can do now is say, okay, so the H1, H2, and H3, I'm not going to bother rendering those with a text renderer, but I am going to say content is let me see, what was it again? Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't need an ID. Oh, we can remove the entire P, of course, because we are going to render this inside of a thingy. We can remove this. We can give this the key of b.id, and then we can give this the b.paragraph.text. And let's see if the paragraphs render the way we want to, or if we run into errors. It rendered. And it rendered great. Cool. So we actually have a link that isn't styled, but hey, we have to style it anyway, right? But now we have some, each child needs a appropriate key prop. So we forgot the keys. Implicit any. I don't care. Any. Int number. Value is like, I don't know. It has annotation text, but let's just do any. And it returns a React node. React node. I guess. Okay, so that's that. And now we have to give this a key of index, and we also have to give this a key of index, and now this error will go away. And now we only have blocked by client due to Google being intrusive and wanting to know all our information. Okay, so that's nice. That's nice. This is great. This is great. This is great. Let's just close everything off. And why is this implicit any? Yeah, let's just do any. Let's do any because I'm. And why is this complaining? I don't think this actually matters anymore. Cannot find declaration module. But why are you... Okay, let's just import this again. Because import blocks from components box. And now it doesn't complain anymore. Cool. Problems? I think not. Okay. So now we'll style everything, I guess. And before I go ahead with style, okay, we have like about an hour. We can get some styling done in an hour. So before I actually start with the styling, I'm going to take a small 5-minute break, for which I'm going to set I will set a timer in the be right back screen, just to stretch my legs, go to the toilet, grab some water, and then I can come back and we can do the styling together. See you soon, baby. It always amazes me how fast 5 minutes go by. But hey, we are back. Let's start working on the actual styling of the page. So, where are we going to do that? I guess just in here, my man. So, class name. Let's close everything we don't need at the moment. We might actually need to go into the text renderer for the annotation styling, but let's now focus on the overall thing, and then the annotation styling is really like the cherry on top for the styling wise. What I do want to do though is remove the console logs, because that's not needed anymore. I'll remove this console log. We can do this. Yep. What? So, okay, we don't need this. We need to go to hello, blocks. Okay. Class name is, let's import typography from components. Is it styles? Yeah, styles, which makes sense. Oh, and actually we need like heading, subheader, paragraph, and then we can be like, this is this. This is like subheader, and this can also be subheader if it's up to me. And then we need to have a text renderer. So we actually need to go into the text renderer and add it to that. So that's not really that bad. And then here we can do class name and render it as a paragraph, as well as here. But now we need to do it like this. Make it a template string and first say that it can be styled as paragraph. Right. Cool. Now the subheadings have some... Let's do this, because the margin is way too much at the moment. MB4, which is fine. I actually might even want to decrease this to 2. Better. Let's just also block paragraph, which will also get an MB, but this will get an MB of 4 if it's up to me. Now we can go into text render, and now we have to say, okay, so class name is equal to block paragraph, which we import from here. And otherwise, instead of rendering here, so this renders the sponge, so it will always render inside of this P. Now we can do block paragraph plus. Oh, we can do it this way. Okay, cool. Now we just have some issues with the with the lists, which is actually going to be block paragraph. And then this will have an MB of 0. I think we can override it inside of this, right? Yep. And maybe we will give the block headings like also an MT of 2. Just so it has a little bit more spacing when it encounters a header. I think everything needs like an MY. I think that's actually better. Margin Y, and this will also be a margin Y. Let's increase this to 8. Let's do it to... This is better, but then we don't need this, I guess. Now I only have the issue that the list doesn't have good but now this has... Okay, this is actually a pretty interesting issue. Let's see what we can do about this. So if we inspect this, it has a base leaning relaxed and MB8. What if we make this like MB0? Because I know that's in there. Now that's fine. We have to go to index and we have to say numbered list. But we also have to say that to the this one. We have to say MB0. And maybe we can do list of type is MB8. Yep, this is actually... And why doesn't this work then? Because they're all last of type. Well, that's freaking amazing, isn't it? This is actually kind of an interesting issue. We can also just lower it to 4 and simulate that it just got some, and then we can be like px4, so it's a little indented. Let's do the same for this. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. How did I do this for the text? Now I'm just curious. Okay, so it actually did have a margin top and a margin bottom on every single freaking one. Okay, I can get behind that. So then we do MB4. Then we just do an MY 4. And we give this an MY of 2. No, I actually want to give this a margin top of 8. I don't know. It just feels right to have... Do we want to increase this even more? Better? Even more. Ah, this is just a bit too much. The problem we're having now is this also has padding, which also goes to here. But that doesn't really matter that much. I'm just not fond of the lists. I think they look very, very, very messy. Does fit list style type non-disk. Why isn't this working? Because it needs to be on the freaking... If I can't find it, I can't find it. Took the same approach as me. That's cool. but no support for lists. Okay, then the list will look a bit odd. But I don't use that much lists on my websites though. Okay, let me think. Is there anything I can do to improve this? Is there anything I can do to... Maybe I can map over the array. And then group all the list and numbered items inside of... Oh well. Not gonna bother. How am I going to handle the images? I also don't want to add a... We have to stay consistent with everything we do. So instead of giving the heading a margin top, it needs to go. This only needs to have a margin bottom. Oh, I think you have a selector. If element CSS, if element is followed by apply style. Yeah, exactly. We have this for the plus sign. Pseudo. I might actually have to write some CSS for this if it's not supported. Yep. That's not that crazy though. I understand that they didn't include this, but how am I going to apply these styles? Let me think. So maybe on the slug page, we just add article, class name, we say blog. So we have a little selector here. So if you have blog and you have an alley that is followed by 8p, then we... Why is this? Oh, no, not margin bottom to rem. Oh, maybe it has to be the other way around. Excuse me. Or why be bothered with figuring out? You can also just give it a margin top one. Yep, this works. Okay. I probably have to add this to the slug with the text rendering as well. Doesn't work if I place it here, like skeptical, but not skeptical. This isn't actually... Nope, this didn't work at all. I think, or did it work? It doesn't know because it's not part of it. Let's just add that to my list after lunch. Place lists, placed LE elements in either UL or OL. Okay, so now everything we need to do is do blocks. Okay, let's just first get this done. We can do like class name is like PMB4. Same for here. MB4. That's not enough. It needs to be MB8. Does this work? Yeah, way better. This gives us a bit of a vibe. Okay, now that we have... I think we've touched everything. Yeah, so let's go to the blog and open a couple of blogs which we have like render images with the official Notion API. How does that work? Hey. That's funny. Where the fuck is the content? Ah. Maybe it would be a good idea if I freaking included it. Okay. Oh, this is the render images, but okay, I guess I could just grab that as well. And now I see that we haven't included code blocks, so we might have to do that. Not supported, not supported. Do we have code? Code blocks. Let's just grab the text renderer for now. Let's just return it as this. Will that work? Probably it will. Code.text. Oi. How do we code styling blog? No. npm code rendering. What does dev2 use for this? Oh, that actually looks pretty good. What is the industry standard waveform? React, render code snippets, render code snippet, JSX, React with Justin Bell. Is this still being maintained 21 days ago? Okay, cool. So how does this work? Copy block, text, props, code, language, prop language, show line numbers, wrap lines. Shall we just give this a go and see how the fuck this works? npm add -nav save react code blocks. Just to try it out, to see if we can get this up and running very quickly. I am not going to be freaking bothered about that. Let's see. Return this, and then we can do like. Let's just keep it on top of here, just so we can. It needs a key. It needs the content. bcode.text 0.text.content. It needs a language, which needs bcode language, show line numbers, true. Let's see if this works. Oh. Let's start the server. Cannot leave properties of undefined reading text color. I think I'm doing something wrong here. What am I doing wrong? B text 0 text content. What if we just render it without any text? Will it still scream rape and murder? Interesting. Uses is this. So we have text, which is code. We have language, which is showing numbers. Boolean true. Starting line number is 1. So let's grab this. Let's do this. Okay, so this is b.code.text like 0.text.content. Then we have a language, which is b.code.language. How JavaScript? I guess it just says JavaScript, right? It's not going to JavaScript. Yeah, it's not going to complain about that one. And then we have show line numbers, which is going to be true. So it's going starting line number, which we don't need. Okay, so we don't need that. Team default supported teams. I like to... yeah, well, just use Dracula for now. Which we probably have to include as well. That was maybe the issue, that I didn't include the Dracula team. Lines to highlight. I don't need that. Now, are we still going to throw a tantrum? Or are we just going to render this right now? It seems to be doing something. It seems to be doing something. Oh, that looks great. Ooh, that looks great. Ooh. Okay, cool. I just don't know why it isn't highlighted. B, code, language, JavaScript. Language plain text. Oh, fuck me. This needs to be JavaScript. This needs to be JavaScript. This needs to be Java. Not Haskell. That's a different language. JavaScript. JavaScript. And that's it. Okay. I actually updated this. Blog. Did I include any code snippets in here? I did not. So that's great. Oh my god, this fucking asshole. This automatically generated piece of... Here. See? I mostly see develop building. Where can I find all the awesome stuff? Dus if you want any type of work related to graphics, kindly open your DMs. I am not one to report someone, but this seems pretty automated to me. Fuck you. I'm going to report this because it's not relevant. Spam. Mute. Bye. When I look at this, any writer. I'd love to see some book public. Writing their book on. I'd love to see someone writing their book on a live stream or even writing. But I can also imagine maybe someone who writes out technical blog. Okay, cool. That's been taken care of. Let's see. I think we're almost there. So let's refresh this and see how the styles look now that we have. Is this still language JavaScript? Why is this not theme object? Give me like Do they support Groovebox? Get up then. It's also fine. Oh, oops. It's not highlighted. That's annoying. Why isn't it highlighted? Am I doing something wrong here? From React code blocks. I mean, I'm pulling that from React code blocks, right? So why the freaking hell? Team name, demo name, name in package. I don't know, just okay, CodePen then. I'm just almost. Team language. Doesn't language need to become after? I can't imagine. I think I'm just seeing something. Language is language. Oh, wrong. Why isn't this rendering as JavaScript? Doesn't it support syntax highlighting? Why? Okay, I might go for an alternative then. Because this doesn't seem to work great. Which is a shame. I liked it, but... oh well. I don't want to use common components. Atlassian kit. You know what? I will just probably go for... over this one. Oh my god, I'm getting bombarded with spam designers, and I'm actually going to report them all. Don't mean to shit on your side hustle, but read the freaking tweet you're actually replying to. This is what's wrong with... This is why people actually on freelance platforms actually get annoyed. Me as a client as well, while I was considering freelancers. The amount of people that just do automated crap, you're never getting the job. You never ever getting the good jobs. You're only getting the shitty jobs where the clients are like, oh well. Cool. That's that. Now let's continue with this. Ooh, I actually have a lot of open. What time is... Oh, I have to go to the store and just... But I want to finish this. Okay, let's just quickly import this. Let's just do the... Hey, is declared but value is never read. That's true. Then just do this, then go to here, then do this, then do this. Language is d.code.language. This is d.code.text0.text.content. It's B. Excuse me. And of course we forgot to pull up with server. Why doesn't this work? Hey. Hey. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to this then. Cool. Let's just grab the regular thingy. It suggests. I know. Okay, so we can go back. And then we can grab like this. This thingy. And then we can refresh. And then we can have a look-see. Okay, and then we're going to do... actually, can we just apply a class name to this? This looks a bit odd though. Let's just use horizontal scroll. Okay, and then we can wrap this inside of div. And then we only have to pick a cool theme. This looks really fucking awesome. Oh, this is awesome. This is really awesome. And then I want to do, I guess... What team would fit? Mono Blue. Night Owl. No, I think I will just use Groovebox Dark. It doesn't work well with the blue background though. This is unreadable, but it's kind of cool. Let me just see how this works. Maybe it looks cool on the blue background. Just a little overkill, but hey, I like... This looks fucking awesome. Alright, we'll stay with this until we decide, it's not it. Oh well. Cool. Very freaking cool. Okay, I think with this, I'm going to call... Okay, how does it work on mobile? Let's see. Need to change the image, but besides that, everything works well. We can... Okay, one thing we can do is we can... MB14 on medium devices. We go to MT14. Otherwise, we go to MT8. We can do it, make it a little... Yeah, better. Better. Cool. Cool. Now, this is complaining. Do we have types? Okay, I'm not going to include it then. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Well, we did a whole lot today. I actually can't recall everything we did, but we finished the blog. We only have to start the button, so we can fetch more. And we set up the blog posts. So we styled everything. We pulled it from Notion. And actually, I'm seeing now that I'm missing a key somewhere. It's in blocks. I guess it's here. It's there. It's there. Let's make this the first prop. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. And it's there. So why is it complaining about not having a key prop? Each child should have a key prop. Is it in the text renderer? Key index, key index. Is that it? Yeah, so we have not supported somewhere. Let's see. What is not supported in this blog post? Rendering images, set up your own thingy. It's a quote block. Oh, that is interesting. Let's just remove it. But hey, it brought a problem to light, so I'm not mad. I'd actually want to create light boxes for these images. Let's just add that to TickTick. Let's not ship with it, but let's... Do we want light boxes for the post images? I'm so incredibly happy with how everything is turning out. Especially just... Sorry, but... I just created a blog in like a couple of hours with Notion as a backend. Yeah, this doesn't look great, but I'm going to replace these images anyway. And it even has fucking code highlighting. I mean, what more do you want? It's crazy. It's actually crazy. So, yeah. I don't think I will be online tomorrow. I might be, so stay tuned via Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter yet, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you haven't followed yet, don't forget me to follow. I will keep you updated on when the next live stream will be. I will work on the blog probably off screen to make some progress and maybe even launch it, because I don't know, I would rather launch this blog this week than next week. But don't worry, if I made any changes, we will go over them next week, or next stream rather. So for now, have a lovely morning, afternoon or evening for wherever you're from. And for now, I will see ya.